Welcome to ModPod, Harmony for your modern pod. When you start the app up, if you're a member of a pod already or multiple pods, they will show when you simply select the pod you want to jump into. You can also add a new pod by pressing the Add Pod button, or you may see invites from fellow ModPod users that have invited you to join a pod. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the Banal Family pod. Once in the pod, you'll see I have a nice summary of what's happening today, starting with the forecast at the very top here. And if I press on that forecast, that gives me the details. You'll see here my role in this pod is dad. You can have different roles in different pods. And you will always show up the top of the snapshot. So that way you see what's happening with your schedule and your to-dos instantly. And then you can also see everything else that's going on with the other pod members. This pod has 8 members, but you'll only see 2 people are active today. You'll see here that I have an appointment at 9:05 a.m. If I press on that appointment, it will give me additional information, including the ability to easily get driving directions to that event. I can see here, in addition to my to-dos, I can see Claire has her first day of school today, and I can browse the day's events. If I want to go on to see what's happening tomorrow, I simply press one of the navigation arrows that will bring me to the next day. I can continue to browse by day. Looks like we have a very hot day tomorrow in the DC area. And the pod's a little busier with Dad, Claire, and Mom all having activities. Coming back to today, I can also get an hourly view by pressing the hourly icon in the upper left-hand corner. And here you'll see what's going on an hourly basis with each pod member. And each pod member can have their own color-coded section on the hourly calendar. And I can easily browse here and find an open spot and maybe add an appointment for dinner. Then I can toggle back to the snapshot view. If I want to see what's happening on a monthly basis, I simply press the monthly view here. And this gives me a really nice summary with the current day highlighted in red and visual indicators in every day that there is an activity. Looks like I'm free on September 20th in this case, but what happens if I want to see what's happening on, let's say, Thursday, October 19th? Well, we'll see here the pod's very busy with myself having a flight to Austin, Claire having a soccer game, and it looks like a few folks are flying into Austin that week. And I come back today by simply pressing on the date and pressing here. I can also get to that monthly calendar by pressing on the day right here in the center. Also, we have a nice weekly view. This will show me everything that's coming up. I easily browse to see what's happening. So let's see what's going on over the next coming week. We got the visit to Emma, more soccer for Claire. Ooh, looks like I'm going to a Bruce Springsteen concert in Syracuse, New York. That sounds like fun. And then Susan has a girls' weekend in Avenel, New Jersey. Looks like a great, fun week. I can also get access to that same monthly calendar by simply pressing this icon here, and I can press it and just drag it up to close that. Also, I can easily search for events. Say you're looking for some great dinner that you had in the past, and you just type in dinner. You can search the current pod or all pods, and here I see, I had some amazing dinners, and maybe I want to press on that to get more information. I can see where that dinner was, who the attendees were, have great photos of the food at that dinner, and also see reviews. So lots of great calendaring events and to-do management here in ModPod. And finally, adding event is super easy. I'm going to come back to my daily snapshot. I'm going to hit the add event icon in the upper right-hand corner. That's the calendar with a plus sign on it. And I enter my event. And so say Susan and I are going to make some time to have some coffee tomorrow. So let's say coffee. And I'm going to go ahead and add an attendee. We'll go ahead and add Susan to this. And I'm going to type in my activity type, which is coffee, so I get a nice icon. And actually, at some point, I can see how much time I spent in coffee shops for exercising, etc. There's some nice reporting features in ModPod. Finally, what's really nice is it remembers places that you've saved to your places before, that you've been before. So if I type in, for example, Starbucks, it's going to show me this Starbucks that I often go to. But I also have this great feature that I can say, hey, find some coffee near me, or type in the name of any location, and it will find that location and fill in the address for you, so I have an accurate place for a location. And this place, 3 miles away, looks pretty good. Katie's Coffee House. We'll go ahead and schedule that there. And then I'm going to make it, let's make it for tomorrow morning at, let's do 7:45 a.m. maybe. And we'll go to 8:45 a.m. I can I'd like to get a little wake me up call here. Let's see, 30 minutes before. So it'll give me a notification at 7:15 a.m. as well as Susan. And then I can add notes, or if it repeats, or if I want a travel notification, or even if uh, the event, someone needs a ride for it. It has all these nice features. I'm just going to go ahead and hit save event. And we go ahead and go to tomorrow by pressing the navigation arrow, and you'll see there I have my 7:45 a.m. coffee, as does Susan. So there you have it. Pretty thorough overview of the events in ModPod. One other nice way to add events in ModPod, I'll show you real quick, especially when you're starting up. You can go into synchronize events and basically select any calendar that you have a subscription to, and you can basically synchronize your ModPod calendar with your other calendars. It's a great way to get started with ModPod if you're using another app or Google Calendar, and you want to get all of those events in here. You simply select your Google Calendar. You basically say, hey, who is going to be on all these events? Like, for example, when I import the soccer calendar from TeamSnap, I assign it to Claire for her soccer. And basically, I select my date range, and I hit synchronize, and I'm done. So that's a great way to get started and to add a whole bunch of events to get you started with ModPod. Well, that is a pretty thorough overview of ModPod. I appreciate your time. That was the events. I'm going to go ahead and talk about chat, photo sharing, members, location sharing, to-do lists, and polls in subsequent videos. Thank you for your time, and hope you enjoy ModPod.